Hey everybody, I'm Joe Ferzoco.
And I'm Chris Ferzoco, and in today's video we're going to be comparing market statistics. Actually, we're going to look at the third quarter of 2023, and we're going to compare that to the second quarter of 2023.
Fantastic. So we'll look at some market stats here. And of course, if you like what you see, like what you hear, please subscribe below. Tap that bell for instant notifications. You'll be the first to get the most up-to-date market information as far as happenings and things like that here at the Jersey Shore, not that Jersey Shore. And of course, hit the like button as well. We would greatly appreciate that. And, you know, Chris, we cover a tremendous area down here at the Jersey Shore. You know, Ocean City, Sea Isle, Stone Harbor, Avalon, North Wildwood, Wildwood Crest, West Wildwood, Cape May, Diamond Beach, North Cape May Courthouse, Upper Township, Summers Point, Brigantine, Margate, Ventnor, Longport as well. So, you know, if you're ever looking to buy or sell, if you're looking to sell, maybe you'd like to get a current market analysis or equity update on your property, or maybe you're looking to purchase something here and you'd like to get yourself some sort of a buyer consultation with one of our great agents here at the Ferzoco Group, please make sure that you reach out to us. Give us a call, shoot us a text or an email. Whether it's this week, next month, 6 months, or a year from now, please feel free to reach out and give us a call. So Chris, today we want to take a look at some of the market statistics here. We're going to compare quarters now. So we're going from the second quarter and the third quarter of 2023. Why don't you get us started?
I'm going to do that, Joe. I'm going to start in Ocean City, and just to recap, as we do in our market statistics, we're going to be covering the sale price of property, okay? And remember, we're looking at today, again, as we say in every video, we're looking at all real estate, all property. So it can be a vacant lot, it can be a commercial building, it could be a multifamily, efficiencies all the way to your beachfront giant single family homes. We're looking at all real estate collectively here, folks. And in Ocean City to start, the average sale price in the second quarter is $1.16 million. And there was an increase, ever so slight, to $1.19 million in the third quarter. So just a slight increase there. And that kind of plays across the board here, Joe, we're going to see with Ocean City. In the second quarter, actually, there's 332 properties came on the market. We actually had 344 properties come on the market in the third quarter. Okay. So a nice bump, kind of interesting there. You saw more come on the market during the summer months than you did in the spring. So I thought that was kind of interesting dynamic there. Could have been a lot of different variables there, but again, we did see an increase in the number of properties coming to market. As for the number of properties that sold, we had 244 homes sell in the second quarter, only 160 sold in the third. So we will contribute that to probably being the summer months, access to properties, things do tend to slow down a little bit. So I'm going to attribute it to that. So, but again, we saw a nice increase in the number of properties coming on the market, but a decrease in the ones that had sold. Okay. Overall, right now in your list of sale price in the third quarter versus the second quarter, identical. So they both got 96%. And again, the numbers were virtually identical in the sales price between quarter as well. Yeah. So again, they're still getting the identical sales price versus list price also in Ocean City currently. As for Sea Isle City, the overall sale price value did not change at all. In second quarter is 1.48. Same for the third, $1.48 million average sale price. Yes, sir. As for the number of properties coming on the market, we saw an increase here. We actually went from 43 in the second quarter to 50 in the third quarter there in Sea Isle. Okay. And as the number of properties selling, this was interesting. We had 50 sell in the second quarter. Remember, spring months, only 28 sold over the summer months there in the third quarter in Sea Isle. Now, the list price to sale price. In Sea Isle, they got 95.5% in the second quarter, and they got 96.5% in the third quarter. So a little bump in the average sale price, or the list sale price to list price. There was a bump there, although the average sale price had not changed.
Oh, so very interesting there.
Pretty steady numbers.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move down the Parkway a little bit there, Chris, and we're going to go into the Wildwood. So let's start in North Wildwood. So your average sale price for the third quarter was $490,000, which was a small little drop compared to $517,000 in the second quarter of this year. When we look at number of properties that came onto the market, not a real big difference between the second and third quarter, 86 in the second, 92 in the third. And when you look at number of properties sold, we did see a slight drop in the number of properties that sold in the third quarter. We only had 53 as opposed to 68 that sold in the second quarter of this year, which really is usually what happens. I mean, that's those spring months, man. People looking to get in Memorial Day, before Memorial Day, before the 4th of July and whatnot. So you do have a tendency to see a little bit more properties selling in that second quarter. As far as your list price to sale price, not a huge difference, I will say, in the third quarter. Actually, this year, and again, we kind of always go back to this. What's your starting point? So your average list price to sale price for the third quarter, sellers were getting over 100%. So they were getting over asking on average. Your average list price was $486,000. Your average sale price was $490,000. You go into the second quarter, your average list price to sale price was only 97.25%. I say only 97%. However, your starting point was $531,000. Average sale price was $517,000. So yeah, you had 3% less, but you were starting, God, almost $50,000 higher. Yeah. So sometimes let's pay attention to where the starting point is there, not so much what the actual percentage is. Let's jump into Wildwood. They had an actually increase in their sale price from the second quarter to the third. Average sale price was $528,000 in the third quarter. As far as properties that came onto the market, almost identical. 96 in the second quarter, 100 properties in the third. And as far as properties closing, 58 in the third, 66 in the second quarter. So not too much of a big difference there either. Yeah. When you look at your list price to sale price in both quarters, they both ran around 98% with that. And again, much like North Wildwood, when you take a look at it, the starting point. This was flip-flop though. So average sale price, list price was $536,000 in the third quarter, and your average sale price was $528,000. When you go to the second quarter, your starting point was $492,000, and your sale price was $482,000. So again, you're starting almost $30,000, $40,000 higher. Kind of different there.
Yep.
All right. So let's go into the Crest. Your average sale price was down about 10%. It was about $662,000 compared to $738,000 in the second quarter. Again, properties coming onto the market, not very different, 69 and 74 respectively. And as far as properties closing, identical, 56. Number of properties closed in each quarter. 97% was your average list price to sale price in both quarters, second and the third quarter. It just became a matter of what was your starting point. So your average sale price was $662,000 in the third quarter, and it was $738,000 in the second quarter. So again, your starting point was a little bit lower, so you ended up with more money if you sold in the second quarter. Let's just jump down into Diamond Beach for that third quarter. You had an increase of sale price of $191,000, which was a jump of about 9%. Number of properties that came on the market was almost doubled in the third quarter. You actually had 13 come on in the third as opposed to 6 in the second. So you had a double of inventory there. And as far as property selling, it was identical. You had 7 properties in each quarter close in Diamond Beach in the Sea Point Village area as well. Your list price to sale price, this is again one of those big differences. The third quarter, your average list price was $815,000 with your average sale price $791,000, which was 97%. And then in the second quarter, it was $735,000 was your list price, $723,000 was your sale price. So yeah, that was 98%. But again, you started almost $100,000 higher in the third quarter. So again, pay attention to the dollar amounts, not so much the percentage-wise. Sure. So let's jump offshore a little bit there, Chris.
Yeah, so if we head up into Upper Township, Joe, we're going to look at those numbers there. Average sale price jumped up. It was $470,000 in the second quarter. Did jump up to $550,000 in the third, so a nice jump there for a primary home market. As for the number of properties that came on the market, virtually the same, went from 43, jumped up. We had 47 homes come on the market in the third quarter here in the Upper Township, so a nice little jump there for the primary. And then actually in the number of properties sold, we did have a decrease here. We actually went from 41 properties selling in the second quarter down to only 33 selling in the third quarter, which is it tends to be a little bit of a trend because, you know, in the springtime, they're buying more, get settled in for the summertime, get ready for school the next year. We did have a decrease in the number of properties that sold in the third quarter. As for the list price to sale price, we actually had 96% in the second quarter. We had 95%, however, in the third quarter. As Joe has said, and I'll just repeat it one more time, it's just remember though, we actually went from $470 starting sale price to $550 sale price, getting 95%, only 1% less than the quarter before. So certainly getting more money as a seller on your sale. As for Summers Point, some big jumps here. We actually had, and the sales value went from $371,000 to $462,000, so a big jump in the sales, actual sale price. Number of properties that listed, we went from 73, we dropped slightly down to 68 in the third quarter there in Summers Point. And for the number of properties sold, virtually no change at 46 in the second quarter, 44 in the third quarter, so very steady there in Summers Point, which has been pretty much the case here all year. And then when you look at the sale price in the second quarter, you got 100%. You had list price $371, sale price $371. And in the third quarter, you actually had 99%, so a slight drop, but again, your sales price significantly higher. It's a $462,000, getting 99% of that. So Summers Point seeing a lot of pluses there, which pretty much we're seeing across the board, there's been, just everything is still continuing in those positive trends. And really, Joe, when you kind of take a look at the numbers, and we'll see the primary home that you're going to be covering, there's not that inventory change still. We're still seeing typically about 1.5 coming on the market to selling. 1.5. There's not this, again, to go back to, there's not 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 homes coming on the market for everyone selling. It's literally just 1.5.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm seeing here in the numbers that I'm tracking.
Absolutely, and they go quick. We do see that occasional property comes on the market, and it'll sit. So it becomes this. Okay, so what's the product you're selling when it comes to, when I say product? What's the unit? What's the type of product? Condo, single family, location. You touched on it before too, as far as overall condition and location of the property. What is that, and the style of property that it is, and those do have. Those have a bearing as far as if you're going to sell quickly, if you may sit for a little while, or if you may not sell at all. So just certainly some things to consider as you are looking at properties to sell. So let's jump into Cape May Courthouse a little bit, Chris. Your average sale price jumped up over 20% in the third quarter. Your average sale price was $418,000 in Cape May Courthouse, as opposed to $332,000 in the second quarter. When we're looking at properties coming onto the market, again, kind of just going back to what you just said, we had 70 properties come on in the third quarter in Courthouse. We only had 60 come on in the second quarter, so not a big difference, 70 and 60. And properties selling, we actually had more sell in the third quarter. We had 55 sell in the third quarter and only 44 sell in the second quarter. So yeah, you had 10 come on, 55, 10 more came on, but 15 more sold. So now you're deficient 5 more. So
exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly what we're talking about. Go the other way. So when you look at your average list price to sale price, again, about 97, 98%. Your stock list price in the second quarter was $343,000. Your stock list price in the third quarter was $428,000, so about an $80,000 starting difference there. So again, more money for your property in the third quarter in Cape May Courthouse. Going into North Cape May, so your average, almost identical here. Very, very odd, because when we looked at one time, when we did September and August, so your average sale price in North Cape May for the third quarter was $469,000, and the second quarter was $448,000. So not a big difference there. 12, 13,000, my public education there, mathematics putting together there. When we look at the number of properties that came on the market, 23 in the third, 29 in the second, and then just flip-flop that when it came to properties selling and closing. We had 23 sell in the third quarter, 29 in the second. What's that equate to? 0 change in inventory with regards to sellers, what's coming on the market and what's closing. So 0 change there. List price to sale price, we average about 99% of your list price to sale price. And your starting point in the third quarter was $476,000, and your starting point in the second quarter was $459,000. So a little bit more money there in the third quarter. Yep. So those are our market stats there, Chris. What's that telling us? I think you kind of touched on it a little bit with market. We're not seeing a lot of changes. I know you can talk a little bit more about that. What are you thinking there?
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, you're not seeing any inventory changes. You just nailed it, right? So I mean, it just month to month, quarter to quarter, it's washing itself out.
Yep.
And I think what's real important, if you go back and you look at the video and you watch and listen to the stats that we're quoting, if you just listen to the sales price, okay, we're now in the third quarter of 2023, heading into the fourth quarter. We've been dealing with these increased interest rates now for quite a while. This isn't new. We're actually probably on the backside of this whole thing with these interest rates and all that. In virtually every single town, third quarter is higher than the second quarter. Even in the primary home market, you're seeing third quarter higher than the second. So look, if you're a buyer, I can't express this enough. If you're a buyer and you're waiting for these prices to drop, it's not going to happen. Not in the timeline that you might be thinking. If you're like, let me wait 6 months, not going to happen. Okay, we're just not there inventory-wise. We have a ways to go when you have this much, this in price, this in inventory. You got to get like this. You got to get even before you can get before you get your price down, because there's too much inventory before it becomes a quote-unquote buyer's market. Yeah. So look, the old adage in real estate is, when was the best time to buy? 5 years ago. Yeah. Okay, that's no different today. If you're looking to buy, you've got to get in the market now. Marry the home, date the rate, and that is your interest rate. You can refinance at a later date. Talk to your lender about that. Talk to the lender about options. We're not in this video here we're not giving lending information or advice right now, but we're just saying, find the house, make the move. There's things you can do with your mortgage later on. Don't get boxed out. because the prices are only going up. Go back and look at the video. Quarter after quarter, shore property or primary, they're all up. And it's up and it's going to continue. I would be willing to bet when we get into the month of December and we say fourth versus third, the values are going to be up again.
Yeah, absolutely, Christian. I like that. You want to marry the property and date the rate. So
that's right.
100% get yourself into the property that you're looking for. If you're a seller, take advantage of the marketplace. Get that home. Reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us a text or an email. We'll be more than happy to supply you with a free market analysis, an equity update on your property. And as I mentioned with buyers, talk to your lender, getting yourself a rate in there. We can set you up with a buyer consultation and really get you going in the right direction for the property that you are looking for.
I do want to jump in there too, Joe. You brought up the lenders, and our lenders do have some amazing programs that they're sending to us every day. The lenders are getting more and more creative too to do everything they can to help you secure your property. So give us a call. Even if you're thinking about it, give us a call so we can connect you with one of our preferred lenders, one of our great lenders. They'll walk you through the process. They'll find the best program for you that can help you secure the property. So just don't be thinking a traditional mortgage. There might be something that's creative out there that works for you, fits your budget, and can, again, help you get in the home that you're looking for.
100%. And whether that's next week, next month, 6 months from now, or a year from now, just reach out to us, give us a call. We'll get you going in the right direction. Please check out all our other videos here on the Ferzoco Group YouTube channel. And until next time, we'll see you at the beach. Hit the like button, and you'll get the first most up-to-date market trends, happenings here at the Jersey Shore, all the way from Ocean City, Veteran Market, Longport, down to Cape May, Wildwood, North Wildwood, Wildwood Crest, Diamond Beach, Sea Isle, Avalon and Stone Harbor, North Cape May Courthouse, and more in Upper Township.
That about covers it.
That about covers it.